Hi, everyone. Welcome to this week's weekly live immigration attorney chat here with Immigration for Couples. I'm attorney Megan Pastrana, and I'm excited to be here with all of you today. We've taken a little bit of a brief hiatus just for a few weeks from Facebook Live, the 4th of July holiday, and then we've had so many clients that have had interviews scheduled both in the United States on the USCIS side and Department of State. And so I've been quite busy this month. I've been able to travel to quite a few different states in the US to represent clients at their immigration interviews. So had that brief hiatus, but we're back and we will be hosting our weekly live immigration attorney chats. Typically, we will host these on Tuesdays at 11 a.m. Eastern time, but due to schedule, we will oftentimes just move it to a different day. And if that happens, then we will put an announcement on our Facebook page. So if you're watching this on one of our other social media outlets like YouTube, we invite you to come on over to our Facebook page, Immigration for Couples, follow us, like us, so you can also participate in these weekly live chats live and we can answer any questions that you have during our live chats. So as I mentioned, we've received a lot of questions from individuals specifically with how do I get married in the United States? And that's exciting because that means that they are probably either engaged or thinking of popping the question and beginning proposing and wanting to know the process to actually have that marriage in the United States. So the good news about getting married in the United States is it's fairly straightforward. And we have clients all over the world. And I know from our clients that there are some countries that it is a labyrinth to be able to get married in other countries. There's a lot of different steps involved and it can take a long time. But the good news is in the United States, it is a fairly straightforward process. So I'd like to go through the general steps with you. And in the United States, the first place that you'll want to start is the local clerk's office. So the clerk of court. So in the county where you're living, you can look up the local clerk of court or city hall or town hall. And that's where you'll start. You'll want to check out the requirements for that location. And in the United States, there's a lot of states and counties where you don't have to necessarily be a resident. So if you're wanting to have a destination wedding in a different state or you have family in a different state from where you're living, you'll just go to that county and you'll check out the requirements there on that website. And the responsibility of the clerk of court is to confirm your identity and to make sure you're legally able to get married in whichever location that you choose. So you'll just have to, like I said, start with contacting or looking at the clerk of court's website where you want to get married and look at the requirements for marriage. There'll be different requirements depending on the state. And those requirements include things like age, or there might be a waiting period and things of that nature. But typically there isn't necessarily a residency requirement that you wouldn't necessarily have to live there. But again, you'll check with that clerk of court, see what their requirements are. But generally, it's a pretty short list of requirements, not too onerous of a process. You'll just want to make sure you meet those requirements. And if you do, then you'll move forward with that application process to receive the marriage license. A lot of counties, a lot of states allow you to fill out that marriage application online, which is great. It saves you a trip. And then you'll want to take a close note of the validity period of that marriage license, because the marriage license is the goal, or the reason rather, for that marriage license is that it gives you a certain period of time in which you're able to go ahead and get legally married. And that really varies from state to state. Typically, we see anywhere from 30 to 90 days. So you'll just want to make sure that once you have that marriage license, that you are able to plan and have that wedding during that license validity period. That ceremony just needs to be performed. So that would be that next step, is you'd want to identify a wedding officiant. That can be a priest, or you can use, there's a lot of services that'll provide a ceremony and be able to organize everything for you. If you're wanting to have a simple affair, you can find these companies where they will be able to provide you with an officiant and a venue and a celebration. And there's also some really great options for what they call micro weddings. And I actually did a podcast with this really amazing couple who helps with these micro weddings. It helps couples to have fantastic, fabulous weddings, these micro weddings in really remote, beautiful locations in places like Arizona. And so my point is that there's just a lot of different options you have for wedding officiants. And you can even oftentimes get married the same day you apply for your license at that local clerk's office. For immigration purposes, you have to prove you have a bona fide marriage based on love. Immigration doesn't require that you have an elaborate ceremony or an elaborate celebration, or if you get married that same day at the clerk's office. Both are completely fine. Immigration's just looking to see that you have that legally binding marriage. So after you schedule that ceremony and have the wedding officiant perform the ceremony, then the next step is you'd have to go back to that clerk's office and record your marriage license. And I always recommend to our clients, please get several certified copies of your marriage license, because you'll need them for your immigration case, and you'll need them for a lot of different other things in your life, like if you're wanting to set up a joint bank account and things of that nature. So it's good to have several certified copies for your records. But essentially, that is the process for how to get married in the United States. So I hope that was helpful. And again, for those of you who are joining us here live on Facebook, if you have any questions, please feel free to put them in the comments, and I will get to those at the end of our topics. If you're watching this on our YouTube channel, we invite you on over to our Facebook page, immigrationforcouples.com, where you can, immigrationforcouples.com is our website. I apologize. Immigration for Couples is our Facebook page as well. Come on over, follow us, and you can participate in these weekly immigration attorney chats. All right. So let me see. I do have, okay, great. I have, okay, yeah, Cole, sure, I do. And I don't remember what we titled it, but Rich and Shelby. And like I said, as soon as we get off, I'll make sure in the comments on Facebook that I will put a link to that podcast. It's on our YouTube channel as well. So you can either watch it video or just through the podcast. They have gorgeous photos of the weddings that they've done for couples. Rich and Shelby are dear friends of mine, and you'll definitely want to check that out. And I want you to. So I'll make sure you have that link after the show. All right. I don't see any other questions here in the queue. So it was wonderful spending time with all of you here today. I hope that this was helpful. We will see you next week for next week's Immigration for Couples Facebook Live. Again, if you're watching this on the replay, just drop in a hashtag replay and let me know what questions you have, and maybe we can talk about those next week. All right. Take care, everyone. So if you are watching this on the replay, please do a hashtag replay and let me know what your questions are, because this channel, our Facebook group, and basically all of the social media content that we put out is because we want to provide you with support in your immigration journey. We know that the immigration process can be quite complex, and we want to provide couples with support, whether you're just starting out or you're in the middle of your immigration journey. And we have a free resource center on our website at immigrationforcouples.com, and you can check out that free resource center. We have a lot of great guides, downloadable charts, and even a free webinar.